Are you Matthew Aldridge?
I'm the attorney of fact for Matthew Aldridge.
You were what?
The attorney of fact.
Attorney what?
Of fact.
Attorney of fact. And what does that mean?
You know, right. His authorization to do legal representation.
Are you a licensed attorney?
No, I'm simply an attorney of fact.
Okay. And does that mean you have a power of attorney? What is your name? What is your name?
Today's court session is a real spectacle. We've got Matthew Aldridge in the spotlight. At least that's the name on the records. But the person standing at the podium isn't owning up to that identity. Instead, he's calling himself the attorney of fact, which, by the way, is completely made up. This is a classic move from the sovereign citizen crowd, who try to claim the court has no authority over them. The truth: courts have jurisdiction over anyone within their territory. No exceptions. And the judge? He's not having any of it. He shuts down this argument in the most impressive way, leaving the guy with nowhere to go. Let's dive into the details and see how it all went down.
My name?
Yes, sir.
I don't have.
You don't have a name? Pardon?
I'm the attorney of fact for the respondent area.
Well, let me explain to you. Only an attorney at law can stand in court and represent a criminal defendant. And to do so otherwise violates the criminal law statutes of the state of Tennessee and could land someone who attempts to represent themselves as an attorney at law in serious trouble. I understand what you're saying. I understand you're saying an attorney in fact. And what I want you to understand is that if you have a power of attorney, then you need to demonstrate that power of attorney. Do you have a legal document called a power of attorney?
I do not this time.
Okay. Then you don't have any authority to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge in this court. You have no legal authority, nor do you have any authority through a legal document to represent or to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge.
Why don't the court just let me file this document?
Show it to the bailiff and he'll show it to me. Apparently there's a copy here.
So here's where it gets even more outlandish. This guy claims to be an attorney of fact and to back it up, hands the judge a piece of paper. I know you can see it on screen because it was kind of a dull moment, but let me tell you, this paper quoted some entirely made-up law, supposedly granting him the right to represent Matthew Aldridge. For those who might be confused, real attorneys must be licensed and follow actual legal processes, not just hand out random sheets of paper with imaginary laws written on them. This is classic sovereign citizen behavior. They argue they're not bound by the law and somehow expect it to work in their favor. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. Courts operate based on real, established laws and not these fantasy rules. And the judge? He's not playing along. Honestly, I'm starting to wonder if this sovereign citizen movement is gaining traction or if I'm just unlucky enough to keep seeing these strange cases. Drop your thoughts in the comments.
All right. Well, I find that Matthew Neil Aldridge has failed to appear personally in this court for the plea day on his case, which is set for trial tomorrow. And as a result, you have no standing, sir, under what I know what you're trying to do is to try to use the sovereign citizen approach to this situation. And I'm simply telling you that you do not have the right to represent Matthew Neil Aldridge. If you are, in fact, Matthew Neil Aldridge, then you need to say so and stop this nonsense, because what you're attempting to do has no legal effect. You cannot challenge the criminal law or the jurisdiction of this court by simply filing some legal mumbo jumbo having to do with civil litigation. That has civil litigation in it. It is not a criminal case that you have cited. So it has no effect on this court regarding the criminal statutes of this court. This court is empowered under the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the state of Tennessee and by the duly elected citizens of Cheatham County to empower and enforce the laws of the state of Tennessee. And that is what I'm going to do regarding Matthew Lynn Aldridge. Mr. Aldridge is set for today to appear in court personally on what we call our last plea day before his trial date tomorrow.
Question. Is that an Article 3 trial?
To what?
Will that be an Article 3 trial? A trial by jury with jury?
It would be a trial by jury, Certainly, it would be. But I don't know who you are. And I don't think you have any authority if you are not Matthew Lynn Aldridge to appear before this court. And you're wasting valuable time that all of these other citizens who are here today. So when I'm talking, you stop talking. No, you will when I'm finished talking. You're wasting the court's time by doing this, and I'm just simply instructing you that if you are, in fact, Matthew Lynn Aldridge, then this is your last day to settle your case. The trial date is set for tomorrow, and unfortunately, it will not go forward because of the fact that I have a conflict and I have to be in Stewart County on a civil matter. So we're going to assign a new trial date for Matthew Lynn Aldridge. But to Matthew Aldridge and the individual standing before me whose name must not be uttered.
This judge is handling this whole situation like a true pro. He stays calm and collected while shutting down every one of this guy's wild claims. The guy barely got a chance to push his attorney of fact nonsense before the judge dismantled it piece by piece. Honestly, it seems like the judge has seen this kind of thing a lot, especially when the guy started quoting his made-up laws. And here's the kicker. The judge actually tells the guy he can't even utter his name. I thought that was pretty funny, especially since judges usually keep their expressions in check. But it was clear from the moment this guy opened his mouth that the judge wasn't going to waste a second on this circus. At the end of the day, it just proves how pointless these sovereign citizen stunts really are.
Then we will set a July 15th trial date for Mr. Aldridge. Whatever this document is that you have filed is in fact invalid because it does not cite any valid criminal statute, and therefore I'm denying whatever that might be in the way of a motion. The trial date will be July 15th. The last day for Mr. Aldridge to enter a plea or go to trial will be July the 8th. July the 8th. Now, we're going to give you a card. If you are, in fact, Matthew Aldridge and you're just playing games with the court regarding this nonsense that you filed, then you may get this card and you may go on about your business. If you are not Matthew Aldridge, then I would suggest to you, you relay to Mr. Aldridge that he must appear on July the 8th, or a bond revocation will take place, and his case will be will take place with him in jail, incarcerated on the 15th. That's the judgment of the court. You need to take your piece of paper and go on about your business.
Sovereign citizens really are something else. These individuals believe they can opt out of the legal system simply by claiming they don't recognize the government's authority. They'll go on about things like common law or the UCC, Uniform Commercial Code, all while completely misunderstanding how these laws actually work. Just to clarify, courts operate under federal, state, and local laws that have been in place for centuries and are supported by the Constitution. There's no magical loophole where you can decide that the rules don't apply to you. Despite this, these folks continue to clog up courtrooms with bizarre arguments that waste everyone's time and ultimately accomplish nothing except adding a criminal record to their name. Legally speaking, the whole sovereign citizen defense falls apart when it comes to jurisdiction. Courts have jurisdiction over anyone within their geographic area, no matter what legal mumbo-jumbo they try to throw out. It may sound clever in echo chambers, but judges have seen it all, and they don't give it a second thought. For anyone wondering, trying to dodge taxes or skip out on a speeding ticket using these tactics doesn't just fail. It can actually lead to even more severe penalties for wasting the court's time. Personally, I don't understand why some people keep trying this. Do they really think they're outsmarting the system, or is it just some weird rebellion? Either way, it's ridiculous and honestly kind of sad. They're not really fighting the system. They're just making fools of themselves. That wraps up my breakdown for today. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe and let me know your thoughts on sovereign citizens in the comments below. Thanks for watching and take care.